Yes, guys, welcome to the Sunday night stream. This is a bit of fun. This is a new stream. It's me, it's Ali, it's FPL winners. Ali won FPL last season. Ali, this is a new stream for us every Sunday, mate. I'm delighted for this to be our first chat after game week 1, after game week 2. How are you feeling? Good game week so far?
Absolutely. I'm excited to be here, to be honest. This is my first stream that I'm hosting ever. So hopefully, bear with me, guys. So hopefully, there won't be any technical issues. So I'm looking forward to this. It's been an amazing weekend of football.
Yeah, mate, I've loved it. Guys, in the chat, do let us know if the picture and audio is okay. This is our first time with Ali hosting, and mate, congrats for that. The chat are saying there might be a bit of echo. Guys, let us know which one of us is echoey. And if it's really bad, maybe out of 10, you can rate how bad the echo is. If it's just a bit of echo, we might have to deal with it for a minute or two. Someone said, Gianni, you're on YouTube. Guys, if you are listening on podcast, and it doesn't sound too great, stay with us. I'm going to check my mic settings, but it looks like it might be my end, the echo. Someone's called me David. Thanks, Emma. I'll try and sort it out when Ali is speaking. So, Ali, we're going to be looking at all the main headlines from the big games, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The big games, FPL relevant games. I think we're going to the most recent one, West Ham Chelsea. It's been an absolute, great London derby. We're going to look at Aston Villa Everton game, Man City Newcastle, Liverpool Bournemouth game, and Manchester United Tottenham Hotspurs, and of course Manchester United game, which was basically a lot to talk about.
Sounds like it's my echo, Ali. I don't know what to do. Should I just talk less? Or is this going to have to just be, if the echo is so bad for me, and it is my mic that's selected on my Zoom call, so I don't know if there's anything you can fiddle with, Ali, or if it's worth me trying to change my output microphone, but sounds like it's a pretty bad echo on my end. What do you reckon?
I'm not sure because I'm using headphones, but it shouldn't be echoing, but for some reason it does. On my side, I think it's fine, but
Gianni, are you David Monday? I'm not David Monday, guys. It's just the sign or the text on the on screen. Yeah, it's David's holding screen. So if you use your headphone mics as CH friend in the chat is going to help us out here. CH says if you use your headphone mic, I mean I can try that. Should I select a new mic and you guys can just tell me if you think this is better? So I'm going to go to the, I don't know, MacBook Airphone mic. I mean, I could try my laptop microphone. I think that's going to be rubbish though. Let's give it a go. Can you still hear me, Ali?
yeah, I can hear you well, man.
Okay, so now I think I'm coming through perhaps a different mic. Guys, tell me if that's better. Sound quality is like the Man United double up in midfield. Oh, that is bad. The Man United double up midfield we're going to be speaking about very soon, guys. Stay with us. And if you're enjoying the stream or enjoying the idea of the stream, make sure you hit that like button. Leo says maybe that's worse, so I might have to return to the other audio. But look, let's move on to discuss today, shall we? Big takeaways from that Chelsea game, Ali. Are we still interested in Jackson?
I think so. It's funny because first couple of game weeks he didn't do much, and ahead of the good run of fixtures, I think this is what we want because otherwise he will be really highly owned. So I think it's a good thing that today he's blanked, and he could be a good differentials going forward.
Yeah, I think he might be. I don't mind the fact he didn't score. I'm going to keep my speaking to a minimum because it's clearly my audio settings that's the problem. Ali, your audio's fine.
Okay.
I still like Jackson. I just don't know if I want Jackson or Watkins. I've got the 2 free transfers. What's your take on Watkins? He's not on pens, but that's not necessarily a bad thing for FPL managers, Ali.
Yeah, I think Aston Villa has proven that, especially today, that the first game week was just some tactical issue because they're still a solid team. They're good going forward, especially with the options up front. But Watkins is the main guy up there, and I think he'll deliver main points. Even though Diaby looked amazing, and even the the what's the guy who scored and assisted? Uh,
Who scored us in what for Villa today? Bailey.
yeah,
Leon
Bailey.
Bailey. Yeah.
Bailey is 5.5. I mean, if you're looking for a enabler, he's a good option to go for. And I think there's not much between Bailey and Diaby, and they're equally good, equally attacking, assist potential and goal potential is there. So I think you wouldn't be wrong to pick any of those.
Yeah, it's interesting with Bailey because if Buendia was fit, Bailey's not in the team. Different profile of player. They have bought Zaniolo from Galatasaray. I think he's on loan. Very, very good young Italian footballer. He's had two ACLs. If he hadn't have had those injuries, I think we'd be talking about like potential worldie player here. Like he had the highest ceiling of all the young Italians, sort of 18, 19-year-olds 4 or 5 years ago. So again, I don't know how Leon Bailey's going to be in the team, but for now, I get it. I like it. If we sell Watkins for, say, Jackson, Ali, you think there's still a route to that Villa attack, right? Because they look so good today. I almost look at that and think I still have to cover the attack. If I go without Watkins, I need Diaby.
I think yes, because there's a good competition in midfield positions for FPL managers because there's a lot of 6.5 million options and a lot of options in midfield overall, and we're looking for a good striker that will go for a long term, and Watkins might be the answer. In
Yeah.
terms of Jackson output, I think he's good holding, striker. Like he could bring others in play, and but the goals will come for him, I'm sure.
I'm still fine with that. I actually like the fact that Jackson, I don't like it, but I'm okay with the fact Jackson has not been scoring points. Because otherwise everyone gets him and his price rises. At least this way, there'll be no price rise before game week 3 if you do want to punt on Jackson. And the signs still look good. Like he's raw, sure. And he hasn't shown to be deadly in front of goal, sure. But he's not missing huge chances. He missed one big chance today. Looks like my audio is still bad. Sorry, guys. We might just have to plow on. No, I can assure you there's no audio on. Like my YouTube is on mute as it is every time I stream 4 or 5 times a week. No changes. Rubber Ducky says he might keep Watkins. Yeah, I might. I've not decided yet. Guys, hit that like button if you're enjoying the stream. Look, Ali, let's go on to the fixtures from yesterday because otherwise I'm going to get really annoyed about Chelsea and have a rant. Where are we going to start with yesterday and those games? Because we're going to go and spend sort of a good 5-10 minutes on all the big games.
Let's talk about City and Newcastle game because this was, part of the reason why I got Foden in my team. And watching him play yesterday, he was absolutely immense in that midfield. He was always available for a pass. He was always, creating chances. And when he does that half turn, back against the goal and then a quick turn and straight pass to Haaland, he's always deadly. I think his creative game will, only improve with KDB on the sidelines. So, and there are not many options from City at the moment because Julian Alvarez is one of them. Foden. Who do you pick next? I mean, Grealish wasn't really that inspiring in first couple of game weeks, and I think if you look at the way Manchester City plays, I think with 2 clean sheets back to back, you have to cover their defense, whether it's a goalie or one of the central defenders, whether it's Akanji or Ake is in and out of the team. I'm not sure what are the options there, but you probably wouldn't go wrong if you pick Ederson. So.
And Guardiola at 5 million looks like he'll play most minutes at left centre back or left back where he's been playing. I said all pre-season, like, cover that City defence. And I had John Stones until we saw the news he wasn't starting, and then I panicked. Ali, just check on your computer that you've not got any, like, I don't know, any audio things open that would give me an echo. But if not, apparently it's good. CH says it's good now. That's amazing. I've not changed anything, CH. Maybe Ali's been able to have a little tweak. Ali, have we got any graphics to show on the Man City game? I think they might have one graphic to show from the Scout members area.
Absolutely.
should we have a look at this? Because I think this was just important to see when judging Man City. Like, we all want to know where they're playing on the field. I think knowing the KDB injury is especially important because KDB's injury means Foden and Alvarez are definitely worth considering. What's your take on Foden and Alvarez and where they're playing on the field, Ali? Because they're way more advanced and they're central. So we can see on the left-hand side of the screen, if you look at number 47, Foden, and then next to him we've got Alvarez. So straight away, like, look how central these guys are. The width comes from Walker on the right, Grealish on the left yesterday, and Foden said post-match he wants to play in these central positions. And he said it's been frustrating. Like, I watched a great interview on TNT. It's so frustrating. I've not had the opportunity to play in what is my natural role. He's pretty much saying. But with KDB's injury, it allows him to play there. And I just thought yesterday, the chances he created, if you check it out in the Scout members, there was something like 6 or 7 chances created. I feel with my 9 Foden points, I was actually a bit unlucky. I'm very happy to get the 9 points. But are you looking at Foden or Alvarez knowing KDB's injured, Ali? Which one's the easier pick for you?
I currently have Foden in my team, so
you do?
Yeah, he's one of 2 guys who actually returned this game week for me. I'm having a bad game week, so one is Estupinian and one is Foden. The rest are just...
You had no 6.5 million mid, no Mitoma, no Mbeumo.
No,
did you have Diaby?
No, I had Mitoma for the whole preseason, but for some reason I decided to go with Bruno and Foden. Yeah. So I'm not having a good game week. So I think Foden is a great pick going forward, and Alvarez as well in the short term for sure. Because if he keeps playing like this, I think he'll keep the spot. And 6.5 for Man City starting striker, even though he plays closer to midfield. I think he will still get. He's got a good shot as he. Proved yesterday, and he could be scoring from distance as well. He could be, creating chances. I think he was on some of the corners as well. So both picks are really good. If I didn't have Foden, I would seriously be considering getting him ahead of the really nice run of fixtures.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Final note on Man City then. Next week the fixtures are great for Man City. It's an away game, and I know you're big on home advantage, Ali. They've got Sheffield United away, Fulham at home, West Ham away, Forest at home. Away home. But 4 good opponents there. Do we think getting more than Haaland is key, and do you prioritise a defender or an extra attacker? Because I look at it like, if I was let's say I'm on a wild card, I'm going triple City. I'm going Gvardiol, Foden, Haaland, or I'm going Foden, Haaland, and maybe just all-out attack with Alvarez as well. But we need more City, don't we, than just Haaland, which most teams are at?
Absolutely. Basically, if you have Haaland, you don't have City. I mean, everybody has Haaland, and I think you should be covering their defense, or maybe you could go triple attack with Alvarez, Foden, and Haaland. I think you wouldn't want to miss those attacking returns.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. Okay, so look, the average position map I think is useful to see. Also note, the subs are in yellow. When you look at Newcastle, you can see the subs coming on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow. Man City, no subs. Again, Pep isn't using big subs, and he's going on a very thin squad at the moment. So your Man City starters are getting 90, which is lovely. Guys, apologies for the audio. It's good to know that it's perhaps not as bad as it was at the start of the stream. Blame David. I don't know why I blame David. It's definitely not his fault. And I'm not David Monday in the chat. I'm Gianni Batici. Hello, team. Take your headphones out and back on. Really? Is that a thing? I'll try that when Ali's speaking. Let's move on to the next fixture, Ali. Who are we going to speak about next?
Man United. Spurs, Man United.
Oh, yeah. What did you take of that game? Because it was fun. It was loads of fun. I didn't like... I was shocked that Spurs kept a clean sheet. Like, these are the shots. And you can see, I think we can see on target is in green. Look how how wasteful United were. So many yellow shots in the 18-yard box.
At halftime, I was like, there's no way this is a 0-0 game. Both teams should be scoring maybe a couple, because in the first half, I think there was a controversial referee decision when Romero clearly played a handball, and for some reason it wasn't given a penalty.
Yeah.
The Spurs, don't get me wrong, Spurs deserved to win. I think they did enough to win that game, but you never know how the game goes on after Bruno scores a penalty, and then Spurs have to chase the game. But fair play to Spurs, because after scoring one goal, they kept pushing. That's something we haven't seen from them for a while, because they've been a counter-attacking team for a couple of seasons now, with a defense-minded approach to every single game. But this time, I think they kept pushing, and I was like, they might get punished in the counter-attack, because Man United are not bad themselves, but they managed to score a second goal, and from there on, they really managed to, play till the end, the same style of football. They were a little bit cautious, but I think they've managed the game pretty well.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. Really good game management. I didn't think I'd see clean sheets with this Spurs team, especially not against Man United. So Udogie is definitely on our radar. Left back, bombing forward, 4.5. Good to know the headphones out on him maybe worked a little bit. Interestingly, the XG was higher for United, over 2 XG in that fixture. So Spurs are still conceding chances. If you own Bruno and Rashford, guys, I don't think you sell them ahead of Nottingham Forest at home. I think you give them that one more game. But look, maybe what would you do, Ali? I mean, you own both these guys. Are you looking at selling one of them, or both of them, or neither? Like, I own just Rashford, and I'm gonna stick.
I'm on the fence at the moment, because it's hard to sell Bruno ahead of the really good fixture at home, and he's done better than the first game week, because first game week he was nowhere in XG. He was really poor in that game. But against Spurs, I think he's shown that he can still create. He can, maybe given a penalty, he would have scored that. But he's still a good asset to own. But the question is, Mbeumo and Mitoma are really high owned now, and their ownership will only rise before the game deadline, and I'm really, I'm having a hot FOMO of not having Mitoma and Mbeumo, because Mbeumo is still good fixtures, and Mitoma as well. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do there, because Sterling looked good. He was really, exciting to watch with those runs. He looked really sharp. So he's one of the differentials I'm considering ahead of the good game week. So Bruno, but I wouldn't mind keeping him for at least just one game week. I have 2 transfers now, so I might as well just use one and leave 2 free transfer for game week 4.
Yeah, I think I'll end up probably only using the one as well. It's a funny one. Sterling was good today. I tweeted in the first 20 minutes something like, I just need to see Sterling's quality on the ball, because I've not seen it since he's been at Chelsea. As soon as I tweeted that, he started playing really well, and he played really well. And I do wonder if actually I go in the Sterling direction instead of Jackson if I want that Chelsea attack cover. But yeah, Mbeumo is definitely someone I'm very jealous not owning. And the Brentford fixtures now look really good. I mean, they start the season with Spurs and then Fulham away, and you're like, okay, they're not the best 2, but actually they turned out to be good fixtures. But now they're really good, and Mbeumo is getting the chances. He's top for XG from all midfielders, non-penalty XG. He's top from all midfielders, and he scored 2 penalties. Let's move on from the Spurs United game. Where are we going to next? We've done City, we've done the United game. There was a few other big ones yesterday, right?
Yeah, let's go for Liverpool, and let's compare Salah and Mitoma heat maps, because
this is awesome.
I
tweeted this morning. What do you reckon? This is quite surprising, right?
It is quite surprising, because Salah plays really deep. If you look at it, watching the game, I think I didn't see a certain style of Liverpool, because as we used to, I think the team still needs to gel together because there's a lot of new recruitments, and they were still dangerous in the attack. But I wonder if it's for the Bournemouth lack of defensive solidity, or it just Liverpool were good on a day. They were really leaky at the back, but I would be really worried if I were a Liverpool fan going into the next game week, because Newcastle looks like a proper team.
Yeah, I think Newcastle definitely give them problems. I mean, Bournemouth gave them problems. And look, Salah penalties, we've seen it with Watkins. If you start missing pens, goals are too important in Premier League football to let someone continue on pens that keeps missing them. And Aston Villa and Ollie Watkins have found that out. Watkins missed 2 in pre-season. We saw him miss a few last year. Now, sure, Watkins' record is worse than Salah's. It's dreadful. But at Liverpool, you've got Szoboszlai, who's scored, I think, 12 in 13 or 13 in 14. And McAllister's record that's, again, in the sort of 90%-ish. Szoboszlai's at more than 90%. Salah's percentage is around, I think, average, around 78, which is why an XG for a penalty is 0.78. And I wonder if, after yesterday's miss, he is taken off pens. But we'll see. He's obviously the main man at that club, and he wouldn't take that lightly. I think the heat map here is gone, Ali.
I think he should be, because he's been missing quite a bit now.
Couple last season.
Having 2 really good penalty takers. As you said, McAllister and Szoboszlai, they're really good. The conversion rate is really high, so why not try one of them? Because as you said, penalties are really important to take, and I think there is a slight chance that this could be the case. So we'll be looking forward to the next penalty from Liverpool and see who takes it.
So Szoboszlai, I'm looking now, scored 15 from 16 in his pro career, 94%. McAllister scored 9 from 10. A lot of them were at Brighton, 90%. Salah scored 32 from 39 before yesterday's miss. So now he's scored 32 from 40. So he was at 82%. That would have dropped now to the high 70s. So, yeah. And Leo says Salah won't give pens away. No, you're quite right. He won't offer them away. But Jurgen Klopp might tell him he's not on them any longer. But look, let's see. Interesting, by the way, Brighton. We have to touch on this Brighton attack. Again, that fixture on paper, knowing how good Wolves were at Old Trafford, going to Molineux isn't an easy fixture. I'm not saying it's a gimme or really, really tough, but it wasn't an easy fixture. And Brighton, this attack is serious. Last season, we said at times they were the second, third best attack in the league, right? Man City were clearly always above them, and Arsenal were sometimes above them. But in terms of the chance creation, the shot volume, Brighton are right up there, and they have continued as they left off. Now, when their fixtures turn in game week 4, maybe we start to doubt that, but I don't think we will. I think this team will create chances against anyone. It's the way the manager plays. And I remember saying pre-season, 2 things I didn't follow through with. You've got to have a City defender, because they're the best defence in the league. I wish I'd followed through, 2 clean sheets. And you have to have more than 1 Brighton attacker. You have to have 2. And I didn't follow through with that either. And again, if you had gone March and Matoma, or even João Pedro game week 1, Matoma, Welbeck's been getting points, you'd have been seriously rewarded. So I'm very happy with, obviously, Matoma and Estupiñán, and I'm not selling them in a hurry. Can I accommodate a third? Maybe not, because the fixtures do turn. But I'm definitely not looking to ever bench or sell for the time being these guys. Are you pretty bullish on Brighton too, Ali?
Yes. The problem I have João Pedro in my team, and the second one is Estupiñán.
And Ciso played well.
And Ciso played well. That's what I was. Yeah. I predicted him to have a good season, but for some reason he didn't really have a lot of minutes in preseason, and he played a lot better than João Pedro in that number 10 position, because João Pedro is more of a selfish player. He's more of a striker rather than a number 10.
I was going to say greedy. As soon as you said so, I was thinking greedy, because you're right. And Ciso is a provider. João Pedro isn't necessarily that player, is he? Which you need to be in a 10.
Absolutely. And Ciso, with those 2 assists to March, they were so silky smooth. I mean, it was hard to put it down a ball like that as well, because I didn't know he had it in his locker, because we knew he has a good shot. We knew he's really, really causing problems to defenders. But given those balls out for March for 2 goals, I think I think he was amazing, and I wonder if he's going to replace Joao Pedro in the starting 11.
Yeah. And even if he doesn't, he'll be in 1 week and out the next. Joao Pedro and Enciso potentially. Welbeck and Ferguson might be. As soon as European football starts, we'll see mass rotation, where we won't see a huge amount of rotation unless there's injuries or they need a rest because they're so tired and they're not used to it. Is Matoma and March? You think these are the guys that will get in terms of X minutes the most? Let's just touch on Salah then. If you're captained him, well done for going through with it. It was the right call in the end, but it could have been way better. So unlucky in a way, but it was the right decision, Salah owners, to captain him, I believe. But now do you sell? Because you take away penalties, which, look, he might still get the pens. He probably will still get the pens. But if you were to take them away, there's a good share of points at Liverpool, like Jota and Diaz coming in. I'm sure there'll be a time when Darwin's in the 11 and he gets a lot of the big chances. Hakpo will get some of them. It's not channeled all towards Salah in game week 1 and 2. It hasn't been, and I do wonder if he's going to justify that price tag, especially moving forward, where against Haaland, given the fixtures, you're probably not going to captain Salah much. I think there are so many good midfielders, you might want to reinvest that money elsewhere and go down. There's some of the 6.5s like Mbeumo, there's some of the Foden types at 7.5. If Maddison is okay or Richarlison starts scoring, we might head Spurs direction. We might just look away from Salah. So, guys, I think you can consider selling Mo Salah.
But what do you do with the money? What do you do with the money?
Can you invest it up top? Can you make your Joao Pedro Watkins or Jackson or
I think Isak is a good shout as well. In that
nice. He's 8 million. He's not cheap. Yeah. And again, so are you worried about Isak minutes, Ali? Like he'll always, if he's starting, get 70. Does that bother you?
It does because, as I said, I've mentioned in a couple of tweets about the additional time, the new rule change, because we're seeing up to 10 minutes of added time, and I wonder if it works better for Wilson rather than Isak, because he's coming off the bench against the tired opposition legs, and I think he accumulated good XG in the first game week, and this was City, don't get me wrong. I mean, you cannot really judge the strikers playing against City defense, and I think Wilson is one of my saviors of last season. Has a good chance of doing well even coming off the bench.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. And again, Champions League will be interesting to see. Maybe they get more sets of 90 each, but there's rotation. Guys, over 400 of you watching. Awesome. This is a new Sunday night thing. Me and Ali aren't going anywhere. When I was asked to do a stream this year for Fantasy Football Scout, and you guys, many of you may have followed my team reveal stuff, which I've been doing on Scout, I think for 3 or 4 seasons on like a Wednesday. And because I've now got my own YouTube channel, I said, I'm not going to be able to continue the team reveal on Scout, but I would love to continue doing a stream. And I said, how about I do one with the world number 1? So we are joined by Ali Hangarov, and with me and Ali. Ali is hosting the tech, by the way. Awesome. Thank you for doing that, Ali, because I'm completely scared of tech. But every Sunday nights at 7, so put it in your diary, come to Fantasy Football Scout for the Gianni and Ali show, FPL winners, and we'll talk about all the winners of the weekend. But look, if you like the idea of that, please do hit the like button, because over 400 of you are watching, which is awesome. Only 62 likes so far. So just show, if you want this show to continue, show us by hitting the like button, and we'll be back every Sunday. So we've discussed some of the big topics of the weekend, Ali. Have we got any more games or graphics to show, or is that it? I can't remember. We got one more.
We got one more, which is Mbeumo, non-penalty XG.
No. It's good, isn't it? It's good. Mbeumo owners, fair play to you. Like, I'm a bit gutted, really, that he's done so well, because I'm Matoma, and with about half an hour of the stream going yesterday, of the games going, I was like, Matoma has absolutely smashed Mbeumo. But really, Mbeumo then goes and scores 2 late goals and outperforms him.
Yeah, Mbeumo is one asset that I wanted to go against, because I don't know, for some reason I wanted to challenge myself going against him, but it doesn't turn out. It doesn't look good for me because his ownership really hurting my rank. But I think I'll be looking for differentials to cover those points. And Bomo is looking good. Uh,
Yeah.
even though he scored 2 penalties in the first 2 game weeks, I think he's still XG is right up there, and he's doing well. He's well performing. He's not overperforming. I think his XG is 3.26, and
Yeah.
he's a little over of his 3 goals scored, but it's basically Brentford is going to, they're going to do good in this fixture run, I think. And Mbomo, if you don't have him, consider him because even if you're chasing ranks, still it's still early in the season, and you don't want to miss out on those points.
It's so hard if you haven't got him though. Let's say you've got Matoma, right? Or you've got another 6.5 midfielder, Eze, whatever. How do you get to Mbeumo in game week 3? Because you've got to sell. Most of the guys and girls watching probably are thinking, I've got to sell Rashford, who plays Forest at home, or I've got to sell Martinelli, who's got Fulham at home, or some might say I've got to sell Bruno, again, Forest at home. For me, it'd be Foden, who I'm not considering selling. So, and I'm not going to swap him for my 6.5 mid. I'm not going to swap him for Matoma. So how do you get to Mbeumo, Ali? Like, do you think you will move heaven and earth to buy this guy who's got more XG than any other midfielder? And that's non-penalty XG. We can see here, like that last column on the right-hand side, 1.68, non-pen XG. March is second on 1.28. And Mbeumo's on penalties, and he scored 2 of them. What are you going to do with him? Are you going to buy him?
I'm having a hard time with it because there are too many good options in midfield, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure because Mitoma and March is up there as well. Diaby is up there as well. It's a hard decision for me, and I'll be thinking about it for a week now, and before the next deadline comes. But Mbomo, I think if you have Mitoma or other 6.5, I think you have a spot for Mbomo as well.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I wish I'd started the season with 2 of those 6.5 sort of price points there that I could move around. Let's say I'd gone Eze and I could jump on Mbeumo easily. But I didn't. I went a little bit higher than that. So other players in this list, Solly March, by the way, again, super high. Solly March, game week 1 didn't do a huge amount, but game week 2, because his chances were so close, like his goals were tap-ins, or certainly one of them was, like really high XG chances. There's a few surprising names on there. Like, I don't think we're interested in Decord over Reed, but Diaz is interesting. Liverpool, like, took his goal well. Again, Jota and Salah feature on this list, but further down. And Pedro Neto, pretty high as well. Also, the guy that's been blanking, both United midfielders, Bruno and Rashford, despite the returns, they are top blankers. And because of that, I don't think you can sell them with Forest at home. But look, Chatsport saying he sold Rashford already. Who would you sell first, Ali? If you had to sell one of them for game week 3, who'd you ditch? Bruno who's on pens, or Rashford who's, I don't know, from last season more explosive?
I'm leaning towards Bruno because he, Rashford has to start scoring because otherwise I don't see where the goals come from. Because there's 2 outcomes, potential outcomes for Manchester United. Whether they bounce back in the game in game week 3 against Forest, because it's a home crowd again. They're usually good at Old Trafford, and otherwise, if they somehow lose points or draw or lose to Forest, I think they will be in a bad moment, and that might really play in their confidence, and it would be a really bad start to the season. But I'm leaning towards United having a good game against Forest, and I'm not sure if I'll be selling any of those 2, but I'm really considering selling Bruno.
Yeah, and Forest is an interesting one because they were so good defensively against Arsenal game week 1, but the Friday night game against Sheffield United, Sheffield United had their chances. And again, you think that the attack that we saw from United at Spurs, which was high shot volume, it was high XG over 2, you got to think that United have a big scoreline in them if they score early at Old Trafford against Forest. But look, we know Forest on the road at Arsenal were really good defensively. I'm looking forward to Monday night's game, Ali. I guess we should just have a nod to that, and also just check on our teams. So before we go to the Monday night game, how are you set with your team in terms of points so far? Like, we're not displaying our ranks on the screen, and rank this time of the season doesn't really matter. But how's your game week going so far, and whereabouts are you sat?
It's going absolutely. It's bad. I mean, I'm on
I
30.
thought it might be. I thought
Yeah,
it might be.
I'm on 30 points, and the only
Oh,
two returns I had was from Estupinian and Foden. So
yeah,
they gave me 20 points. The rest are just blanks all over the team. But I still have three Arsenal assets.
yeah.
And hopefully, will save my game week tomorrow. So we'll see.
One of those Arsenal assets is a differential, right? You've got Trossard, so again, like, you could
No,
stand
no,
out from the
no.
crowd.
I
No,
went for Martinelli. I
did
went for
you?
Martinelli. Yeah.
Fair, sensible,
I think
sensible, mate.
Trossard. Arsenal had a game against Luton in midweek
Yeah,
behind the closed doors.
didn't
Yeah. So and Trossard scored a brace there. I wonder if that would, get him in the first 11. I'm really excited to see him in the first 11 because he adds a completely different dynamic to the way Arsenal plays. He always brings goals, so I'm really excited to see him start getting more minutes. But you never know with the competition for a spot in the Arsenal attack.
Yeah. Ali, I didn't think I had a particularly good game week. And then I looked at my score and was like, oh, actually, it's a really good game week. So I'm on a green arrow, 46 points. And I was just like, oh, I've lost a little bit on the Mitoma versus Mbeumo because I own Mitoma. But then I look elsewhere and I had small returns from the likes of Watkins. Estupiñán was obviously great. But I guess where my team differs, and this is, for me, the importance of having that one player you can have a little bit of fun on, because I had Foden as well as a lot of the template picks, Watkins, Estupiñán, Mitoma, it turned out to be a good game week. So yeah, so far so good. I've also got Martinelli, Saka, Gabriel. So fingers crossed Arsenal score some goals. But Barney did tag me in a question, so I've just got my eyes on the chat. Last season, Man United have lost 8 and drawn one of their away games against top 10 opponents. They're really bad in away games. Oh yeah, okay, cool. But United are at home to Forest, right? I think I was saying I can see United doing well at Forest.
They're
so
playing
yeah,
at OT.
yeah. And against Spurs, you could say they're bad, but they did create higher XG than Spurs. But of course, it's the goals that's important for those that don't like it. CH is on 30 as well, but she does have Trossard. Love that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Before we go, though, just to encourage you, if you can, to hit the like button and then get Ali's thoughts on the Arsenal game. How do you see Monday night going, Ali?
It's a 1-0 to the Arsenal. That's my prediction.
Yeah, we would take that as long as it's a Martinelli goal. I mean, Saka goal doesn't feel as exciting anymore because it's like his ownership's so high. And then early thoughts for your transfer, Ali, or transfers. At the moment, who are you most likely to bring in game week 3?
I might even make a goalkeeper transfer because Everton doesn't look good. I think I might be considering going for a goalkeeper to use one of my free transfers. But that's still, ahead decision to make because it's still, some time to think about it because it's only been 2 game weeks, and I think I'll try not to overreact and see how Arsenal performs tomorrow.
Yeah, I hear that. I still don't know where I'm going. I really don't. I know I want to get to Mbeumo. I don't know how. I know I want to get to a Chelsea attacker, Sterling or Jackson. I don't know how. I know I don't want to part with Watkins, but he might have to be someone I consider selling. I would love to have seen. So Watkins plays Burnley away, right? I would love to have seen Burnley play again, game week 2, and it's frustrating that I might be making a Watkins decision, not knowing how good I think his opponents might be. And sure, we saw Burnley game week 1 against City, but that's not good enough for me. I need to see more. I don't quite know how good Burnley are, and I needed that second game. And of course, Burnley Luton was cancelled this weekend or postponed. So that might be a tough decision for me. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Look, I said earlier, this is a new thing every Sunday, and it absolutely is. It plans to be, but only if you guys want it. So if you fancy supporting the idea of this show continuing. Drop a comment, leave your advice, let us know if you want it to be a regular thing, how you would like us to improve the show, if you like the idea of the show going through the games and picking out a few of the key stats or numbers from the members area. Likewise, if you want to support the channel, then do hit that like button for this stream, and that will also show us that you think it should continue. But at the moment, it's planned, penciled in, firm pencil for Sunday at 7 p.m. So for now, guys, we'll be back next Sunday, but there's loads of content on the Scout channel from tomorrow onwards. So make sure you're subscribing. But for now, he's been Ali, I've been Gianni, and we